Hi, Josh Barker with Josh Barker Real Estate, and thank you for checking out our market update for the month of September 2021. Like we like to do each month, let's go ahead and start off this month by looking at the sales report for the Shasta County Multiple Listing Service. Now, I'll circle this for you in red. For the month of August, there was 314 properties that closed escrow. Now, if you go back to 1 year ago in the same month of August, there was 368. So you can see that our sales volume year over year has dropped now by about 14%. We begin to see this over the last couple of months actually, where we're seeing our sales and closed volumes going down a little bit compared to months prior. Most of you can relate with the fact that how hot the real estate market was in the first couple of quarters of this year. A lot of that was because of low interest rates, low inventory, and extremely high buyer demand relative to migration pattern shifts. So we're beginning to see us transition away from a pandemic-related market, and we're slowly starting to move our way back into a more normal, balanced, supply and demand-related market. So that's for the sold listings. Active listings right now, I'll circle this for you in red as well, there's 641. So you can see our inventory is going up. If you were to go back several months ago, we were sitting with inventories in the marketplace that were roughly around 300 to 350 homes for sale. And so over the last several months, we're beginning to see our inventories grow, and that growth is causing some listings to actually sit on the market for a little bit longer periods of time. And we'll talk about that a little bit later in this video. But in any case, those are the two reports about what the sales reports look like here in Shasta County in the last month in August. So next thing to look at is just the total new construction, what's happening. And I talked about this a few videos back, but the new construction in the market is continuing to perform really well. We're seeing a collection of CARR Fire related rebuilds still happening. We have infill lot construction still taking place, meaning lots that already existed in subdivisions that are now being built. We also have some developments that many of you have probably already seen that are located around the community of Shasta County that are being built out. And we still have some larger home builders that are looking at some developments here. One or two of them have made some commitments in the local market as well, which means that we're going to start to see a little bit of a larger national housing builder presence here, at least for a few small developments here in Shasta County. Next thing to talk about is interest rates. Interest rates right now are still currently low. We're averaging just around 3%. Most of the experts, and I'll show you this here in this slide, are projecting that we're going to see rates maybe move up into that mid 3% range by the end of the year, but certainly not a lot of pressure. One thing to keep in mind though is that for every 1% that the interest rate does go up, it has an impact on a buyer's purchasing power by up to 10%. So for example, let's say that you're qualified for a home at $400,000 with the rate at 3%. If the rate were to increase to 4%, that same buyer would only qualify at $360,000. And so that's where the real impact can show up in the housing market as interest rates go up. But rates right now are still currently low, certainly not something that we're worried about. Some of the questions we're getting recently on a new topic is our eviction moratorium. Some of you probably heard that the Supreme Court recently ruled and said that they were not going to allow for an eviction moratorium any longer, and so they ruled against it. However, in the state of California, leadership came out and said that didn't apply for them in California. The eviction moratorium is still in place. That current moratorium that California set up is consistent all the way through September 30th, if it's not extended. So right now they say they're trying to focus on getting payments out to landlords and working things out with tenants, but at this point, it's definitely having a drag on the inventory overall, because there's a lot of investors who would like to liquidate some of these assets, but because of the eviction moratorium are not able to do that, and those homes are currently sitting there waiting to be liquidated, but unfortunately can't until there's some sort of resolution with the state. So we expect that in the future, if that changes, we could start to see some additional inventory come to the market because of that. The last topic we're going to want to talk about is just price reductions. A lot of people are talking about seeing on the multiple listing service and all the different home buyer search sites, they're seeing more and more homes price reducing. And some of the questions that come out of that are, is the market shifting? Is it changing? And these are all really good questions to ask. The thing to think about is how do we get where we're at now? If you go back over the last 12 months, you've seen appreciation of upwards of 25% for a lot of properties. So homes that were overpriced, a year ago, even if they priced higher than the recent comparables, within a few months the market was appreciating so quickly that they sold anyway. And that continued to remain the pattern over the last 12 months, where you see homes overpriced, but within a few months the market appreciated to that price and they were selling. And so you've seen a lot of homes selling anyway, in spite of the fact that they were overpriced. Currently though, we're starting to see our home inventories increase. We're starting to see our buyer demand decrease a little bit. And as a result of that, we're seeing homes sitting on the market for longer periods of time. And so that's where the transition is taking place. So today, sellers that go to the market overpriced, because the market's not appreciating as quickly as it was before, they're going to be sitting for longer periods of time. And if they're motivated, it's highly likely that they're going to price reduce so they can get moving on with their life, right? So that's something that we're expecting to see. That's what we have been seeing recently. As this transition from a really fast-paced appreciation more to a moderate, the report I have right here on the right, I'll just show this to you real quick. They're projecting 8.5% over the last 12 months for 2021 is what all the major economists are expecting for appreciation. So I would argue that most of that appreciation we probably have already received. So this is the reason why we're seeing it. So as sellers start to recognize the market conditions, it's higher likely they're going to start pricing more accurately from the start. We'll probably even see some of those price reductions reduce. Okay, in any case, if you have any other questions, let us know. We're always here to help. Thank you again for your time today and have a great day.